Welcome everyone to this deep dive into Clair Obscur. Expedition 33, we're gonna really get into the combat today.
Yeah, we've been digging through the wikis, the guides, everything we could find.
Pulled out all the key stuff for you. Think of it as your fast track to understanding how these battles really tick.
Absolutely. So first up, we'll break down how Expedition 33 mixes up turn-based strategy with, like, real-time reflexes. It's a pretty cool blend.
Then we'll look at some of the characters, right? How they play differently.
Exactly. Their distinct styles.
Yeah.
How they change up your tactics. And finally, we got to talk about Pictos and Luminas.
Ah, yes, the equipment and passive skills. How those shape everything.
Definitely. They're super important for strategy.
Okay, let's dive in. This reactive turn-based system, what's the main idea there?
Right. So at its core, it's, familiar territory, turn-based. You pick actions for your team, think about strategy, weaknesses.
Standard RPG stuff.
Pretty much. But then Expedition 33 throws in these real-time elements for attacks and defense. Timing suddenly becomes, well, really important.
Okay, so it's not just clicking attack. How does that real-time bit work?
Well, a lot of the skills have quick-time events, QTEs.
Oh, okay.
We hit a button right on Q, you get bonus damage, maybe extra effects. But if you mess it up, yeah, you could interrupt your own combo, maybe even hurt yourself, keeps you on your toes,
Okay.
adds that execution layer.
Definitely sounds more engaging than just watching animations play out.
What about resources? You mentioned action points at AP.
Yeah, AP is key. It's what you spend to use your skills, usually just 1 AP per skill.
Okay.
You get some AP each turn, just passively. So the game wants you to use those skills.
Makes sense.
But, and this is cool, you can also earn AP back by defending well.
Defending well, so not just hitting a defend button.
Exactly. You've got options. Dodging is one. It's generally easier. Just avoid the damage.
Got it.
But then there's parrying. That needs really precise timing, like right as the hit lands.
High risk, high reward, nail the parry, you take no damage, and you can often counterattack. Plus, you get that AP bonus. It feels way more active.
Yeah, that sounds like it could completely change how a fight feels. Any other real-time stuff like that?
Oh yeah, some big enemy attacks are telegraphed. You'll see this specific flashing jump icon.
A prompt.
Right. If you time your jump perfectly when you see that icon, your whole party dodges and gets a follow-up counterattack.
Nice. But only when you see the icon.
Crucial point, yeah. Don't just jump randomly, or you'll probably jump right into the attack. Wait for the cue.
Okay, reacting to signals. What if the whole enemy team attacks at once, like a group assault?
For those, there's the expedition counter. The whole active party, all 3 characters, have to time a parry together, simultaneously.
Wow, okay. That sounds tough.
It is. High risk, again, but pull it off, and it can seriously mess up the enemy's turn. Big momentum swing.
Coordination is definitely key then. Any other basic combat tips we should keep in mind?
Yeah, always try for the first strike. When you're running around, see an enemy, hit R1 just before you engage.
Free damage.
Yep, give you an initial hit, softens them up. Always worth doing.
Yeah.
And watch the timeline on the left of the screen in battle.
Shows the turn order.
Exactly. Helps you plan ahead, know who's going when. And finally, your battle wheel on your turn standard options. Attack, aim.
Aim.
Lets you target specific weak points. Costs 1 AP per shot, though. Then items and skills, which we said cost AP.
Okay, got it. So it really feels like Expedition 33 is trying to find that middle ground between, say, a pure turn-based game like Persona 5 Royal.
Right, where you have all the time in the world to plan every single move, exploit weaknesses, set up combos.
Yeah.
Very strategic, very deliberate.
Yeah, you can really take your time. Versus something totally real-time like Elden Ring.
Where it's all reflexes, dodging, finding tiny openings, constant movement, pure action.
So how does Expedition 33 actually pull off mixing them? What makes it work?
I think it's how they layer it. You still have that turn-based foundation. You're choosing skills, thinking about turns ahead, managing AP. That strategic core is there.
But then the timing kicks in.
Exactly. The QTEs on attacks, the parry, the dodge, the jump prompts, that expedition counter, they inject these bursts of real-time action within the turn structure.
Especially the parry, it sounds like.
The parry's a big one, yeah. It transforms defense. It's not just picking guard.
Yeah.
You have to read the enemy, react right now, even though it's still technically turn-based.
That definitely sounds more intense. Needing that perfect timing, it makes you pay attention differently.
It really does. You're not just a strategist, you're also an executor in those key moments. Keeps you hooked in.
Okay, let's shift to the characters. 6 playable ones, you said. And they all play differently.
Very differently. You pick 3 for your active party. The others are in reserve. They still get some XP in reserve, by the way, which is nice. Everyone levels up, max level 99.
Good to know.
But yeah, who you bring really changes how you approach fights. Their mechanics are distinct.
Let's get into some examples. Gustav, he's the leader. Sword and pistol guy.
That's him. Sword for close range. Pistol lets him aim at weak spots, remember, costs 1 AP though.
Right.
His main thing is overcharge. He builds up these charges by attacking using certain skills like Lumiere Assault.
Okay, building charges.
Then you unleash the overcharge skill. Big lightning damage, scales with how many charges you saved up. So playing him is about managing that charge, knowing the right moment for a huge hit, maybe breaking an enemy.
Build and release. Got it. What about Lune, the mage?
Lune is all about elements. She uses skills to generate stains, ice, fire, lightning, earth, even versatile light stains.
Stains. Like a resource.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some skills create stains, others consume them to make her spell stronger. Plus, you can mess with enemy elemental affinities, make them weak, resistant, nullify, or even absorb elements.
So you need to know your enemy weaknesses with her.
Absolutely. Exploiting those is key. Her starter skills, Immolation and Ice Lance, show it off. One makes a stain, the other uses it. It's like a mini resource puzzle during combat.
Sounds like she needs careful management. Okay, let's talk about the gear systems Pictos and Luminas. Sounds complex, but important.
Oh, definitely important. And yeah, there's some depth here. So Pictos are basically accessories.
Okay.
Each character can equip up to 3, but your active party can't have duplicates. So no 3 characters all wearing the same Picto.
Fair enough. What do they do?
Straight stat boosts, mostly. Health, attack power, speed, defense, crit rate. The usual suspects.
Right.
You find them all over. Loot drops, chests, they call them paint cages, quest rewards, boss drops. Some merchants sell them. And sometimes specific fights can even upgrade a Picto you already have.
Upgrade them. Cool.
Yeah, improves the stat bonus. So think of Pictos as your direct stat enhancers.
Okay, simple enough. But then there are Luminas. How do they connect?
Right, so every single Picto has a Lumina link to it, a passive ability.
Oh, okay.
When you equip a Picto on someone in your active party, you'll see its Lumina icon, but it'll be grayed out at first.
Meaning it's not active yet?
Not fully. Here's the trick. Win 4 battles with that Picto equipped on an active character,
Okay.
and that Lumina gets permanently unlocked. For everyone, the whole party. The icon turns blue, gets a gold border, boom, unlocked.
For everyone. Wow. Okay, so you're incentivized to use different Pictos just to unlock their passives.
Exactly. It encourages experimentation, long-term investment in your gear.
That's really clever. So once it's unlocked...
Once unlocked, any character can equip that Lumina passive skill, provided they spend Lumina points.
Lumina points, where do they come from?
You get 1 point each time a character levels up. There's also a rare item, Color of Lumina, that permanently bumps up a character's total points.
Okay, so it's a limited resource you earn. Spend wisely.
Definitely. Because you can't respect those points as far as we know. Once spent, they're spent.
Gotcha. And how many Luminas can one character equip?
No hard limit, actually, as long as you have the Lumina points to pay for them.
But here's the crucial strategic choice.
Equipping the unlocked Lumina from the menu only gives you the passive skill. You don't get the stat boosts from the original Picto anymore.
Ah, okay, I see. So it's a trade-off.
Precisely. Do you keep the Picto equipped for the stats and the passive if unlocked? Or do you free up that Picto slot for something else with different stats and just spend the Lumina points to get the passive ability you want?
That adds a really interesting layer. You're constantly deciding between immediate stat gain and broader passive utility, or unlocking things for later.
Exactly. Early on, maybe you grab Pictos for raw health or speed, get those 4 wins, unlock their Luminous, maybe like accelerating heal or something. Then later, you might equip a different Picto, but still use Lumina points for that heal passive.
And later you might hunt for Pictos whose Luminous really boosts a specific character.
For sure. Like, find a Picto whose Lumina increases break damage, unlock it, then give that Lumina to Gustav to power up his overcharge, or boost elemental damage for Lune. The synergy potential is huge. It really pushes you to experiment. Okay, so putting it all together, it's managing AP, nailing the timing on QTEs and parries, knowing enemy weaknesses for characters like Lune, building up mechanics like Gustav's overcharge, and then weaving in this whole Picto and Lumina system for stats and passive abilities.
That's pretty much the core loop, yeah. It sounds like a lot, but it seems designed to encourage you to learn it piece by piece and really experiment.
The Picto Lumina part especially sounds like it offers long-term goals and deep customization.
It really does. Thinking about which passives to unlock, how to spend those limited Lumina points. Maybe grabbing Pictos plus 1 AP on successful parry changes how you play defense.
Yeah.
Or stacking crit damage Luminous turns someone into a monster. Lots to consider.
Well, this has been super insightful. It definitely paints a picture of a combat system that's both strategic and demands real engagement.
For sure. Clair Obscur seems like it's blending these styles in a really thoughtful way. Between the unique characters and that Pictoluminous system, your journey should feel pretty distinct.
So, for everyone listening, as you start your own expedition, think about that balance. Reactive skill versus careful planning. Which character styles grab you first? And definitely start playing around with those Pictos early.
Yeah, unlock those Luminas. You never know what combo might click.
Exactly. What small passive, maybe something you unlocked almost by accident, ends up being the cornerstone of your ultimate strategy? That's the next part of your deep dive.